think we need to start with closure. The Niners still haven't found it. They're on Super Bowl media row right now talking about how this was stolen from them and how much it hurts and how they can't get over it. Understand it. Very emotional. Let's talk about closure, Coach.
Well, yeah, it's important. Each year from year to year, I know we have the same players, but it is a different team from year to year. And it's important to do that because you need a new ethos, you need a new mindset, and it's also
a fresh start.
Yes, a fresh start. It's also important for competition. And I've had a very, very small coaching career, but I've been blessed to be around some very prominent mentors. And I've had some notes that mentors have passed along to me about closing out a season the right way in as a coach. And just a couple of steps. There's like 5 of them that they're important to kind of look at from a coaching perspective. One is not looking to justify. You don't have to sit here and justify what happened. You're not looking at the defeat. The defeat was valid. You have to validate the defeat, and also you're not looking to justify because you're more focused on answers. Right. All right, you're not questioning the test. The test happened. Okay, and you took it.
Because real quick, what the Niners are saying is essentially this was not a legit loss. They didn't get the chance to compete, and as long as they feel that way, they'll never find closure from this loss.
Yeah. And with that, I think step 2 is you just have to be ready to take responsibility for the entire thing, from the very first play of the game to the last play of the game. Okay. Once the kickoff happens, the Eagles started playing football. So did we. Okay. And you also have to be ready not only to take responsibility for the whole thing, but you need to take responsibility for your role in the whole thing. What was your role? What did you do? And if you're not ready to do that, then you're not ready to examine the entire situation.
Right, because right now they're at unfortunate circumstances happened. It's really too bad. That's where they're at.
They're not really examining the entire situation. No. And also moving on is you can't be resentful. You can't blame anybody. It's no one's fault. The game happened. Somebody had to lose, right?
Right.
So being resentful and trying to blame refs, or I did it, trying to place a little bit of the shame on somebody else. No, you got to stand tall. You got to put 2 feet on the carpet, and you got to own it. And also owning it brings into the next step is that you have to stop blaming yourself. Self-forgiveness allows you to get to the bottom of what failed with your role adequately included. You're not perfect. And if you're blaming yourself, and if you think you're too perfect, then you'll never look at yourself in a sober way on what did you do. And then the last thing really is, closure is a process. It's not something that just happens, just like healing. And the last step is you're ready to hear things that you may not want to hear. And you're ready to have somebody talk to you and say some things that may touch an open wound, but
like the Eagles may have been better than you.
Or what are you going to do to protect your quarterbacks moving forward?
There you go. You were somewhat complicit. It wasn't just bad luck. It was 2 quarterbacks, and then it was 4 in the season. What can you do? Yes.
And that's very important. You got to be ready to hear some things that you don't want to hear. And if you're not ready to do that, then you're not ready to close. And what you're going to do is you're going to be holding on to old baggage. And I just kind of have a little bit of like a funny stat. After our Super Bowl loss, we had a party, right? Yep. Which is notably talked about, correct?
It's unusual. I've never heard of it.
Well, I got something for you, Grant.
Okay.
There's only one team that I know of that kind of mimics our track, and that's the Bills, even though they went to 4 Super Bowls in a row.
Sure.
And notably enough, the Bills, after they lost 20-19 to the Giants, they had a parade in Niagara Square.
No way. A parade?
Yeah. They had a parade.
For what?
Exactly.
For what? Wow.
And they cheered on the kicker that missed.
Oh, who missed? Right.
Who missed the kick.
Right.
And I mean, I'm not here to have a spiritual seance, but that was talked about around the league at the time.
Yeah.
I went back and did some reading around and poking around, and it's there's something to be said about teams.
Like, you want to pick up your guys. It was emotional, but at the same time, you just rewarded failure. You just celebrated failure.
25,000 people showed up to that parade.
Oh, yep.
You know, so I'm not here to shit on us, but at the same time, it's important for us to take our medicine too. Mm-hmm. We got to take our medicine. Because
here's the thing with closure, why it's important, the whole thing with sports is moving on. You want to learn your lesson and learn from your losses, but you can't dwell on them. Yeah. You got to move on and focus on next season, because if you learn from this loss and let it fuel you, it could be exactly what you need to get over the hump and win the Super Bowl next season. But if you're stuck in the, wow, I can't believe that happened. What happened? Oh, it was bad luck. Nothing we could have done differently.
Right.
Then you're stuck in the past. Exactly. And then you're on studio. You're going to be on Super Bowl road next year talking about this. Man, I can't, if only that 2022 season, man, that 2020, that was it. No, it wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't. It really wasn't. It wasn't it.
And we just need to really own this, just own it, man. I mean, like, I think I'm taking a line from you, Grant, but Brock Purdy didn't get hurt in the parking lot.
Right.
Okay. Yep. He did it.
Neither did Josh Johnson.
And also I watched the Hassan Reddick interview where he actually talked about the play. Where he injured Brock, and he said he gave the offense credit. He said, usually the play was ran out of play action, which is supposed to get me to shoot up faster. Right. So the play, really, he was coming to block somebody that was supposed to be running upfield. But we had already schemed up the play action that they were going to do, and I ran past the fake and went straight to the quarterback. Yeah. So even if you want to give the play credit where Brock should have stepped up, you got to give the Eagles credit for scouting us. Yeah. They scouted us up, man. You got to own that.
Yep.
So it's unfortunate the way it happened. We went down on our sword. Nobody.
It's one game. You could beat them next year. You're going to face them next year on the same field. Move on.
Yeah,
give them the respect.
Closure, Closure is one of those things where it sucks, but it could be quick if you just do it. But if you don't, it can linger, man, and it can show itself in a lot of different ways.
And it's a sign of maturity. As you get older, it's something that you value and you understand.
Because you need it.
Yeah, when you're 24, you don't know about it, and you're like, nah, man, we should have won. Nope, that's not the way to think about it. That's not the way to win. Yeah.
You need it.